Have you ever wondered what it would be like to lose your eyesight and hearing? Well, Helen Keller lived a long lifestyle without both. Helen Keller is one of the most inspirational people in American history. She had to overcome physical disabilities and many other obstacles to live the life she did. When Helen Keller was 18 months old, she was happy and healthy. She was already learning her first words. One morning she woke up with a high fever and went to the hospital. The doctor told her parents she had a serious illness, and it was acute congestion of the stomach and brain. The illness could cause long term illnesses. Her fever was not going down and it kept getting worse. Eventually, she lost her sight and hearing and was unable to get it back. Helen Keller was then unable to communicate with anyone and was shut off from the entire world. Helen Keller conquered many things in her lifetime. She was successful and learned to do things without seeing or hearing. Helen recognized people. She would feel their clothes, she would feel their faces. She made ways to remember them. Helen then learned how to spell. They would write things on her fingers. She caught on to realize everything had a name. Helen's first word they taught her was water. Anne took Helen out to the water pump and put the water over her hand and took her finger and spelt the word water. Helen then realized each word belongs to one of the objects she known all her life. Helen then went to college. She went to Radcliffe College. She worked on school newspapers. Anne helped her go to college. Helen makes history by graduating. She wrote books, and an interesting part she added in her book was, "The beginning of my life was simple, and much like every other little life. I came, I saw, I conquered as the first baby in the family always does. There was the usual amount of discussion as to a name for me. The first baby in the family was not to be lightly named. Everyone was emphatic about that. My father suggested the name of Mildred Campbell, an ancestor whom I highly esteemed, and he declined to take any further part in the discussion. My mother solved the problem by giving it as her wish that I should be called after her mother, whose maiden name was Helen Everett. But in the excitement of carrying me to church, my father lost the name on the way, very naturally, since it was one in which he had declined to have a part. When the minister asked him for it, he just remembered that it had been decided to call me after my grandmother, and he gave her name as Helen Adams. That was a very interesting part in her book to me, as how they came up with her name. She was able to publish the books that she wrote, and everyone supported her story and became very well known. Helen knew what was going on around her, and she was well aware she wanted to explore the world and see what she could do out there for herself. Helen made herself very well known around. She made a big impact around the world. She visited 35 different countries and became close to all of the people. Everyone supported her, and they even represented her with a special dog as a gift to help her get around. She then died in 1968. She was 89 years old. She died peacefully in her sleep. She gave all her energy to the world. She slaved the disabled people to the world. Annie gave Helen her precious love, and then Helen spread her love to everyone. After she died, because of her strong will and outstanding contributions, moved the world from everywhere and had activities to memorial her, and they still do. And this was a picture of her when she was older. And my sources are UKE Essays and AFB.org. And that is it. Thank you.